Hello, Mateo.
Hello.
Janice, hi.
Hi.
Hey. And welcome, Frank. Frank is muted.
Hello.
Hey. So we're waiting on a couple of folks. Take a couple minutes here. Is that Karen?
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome. Um,
The
I'm not
four
sure.
of you?
No, we haven't gotten started yet. We're waiting for you. Um, but I know Bert is not going to make it.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, am I muted? I don't think so. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Not very well.
Oh, then you probably can't hear anybody else. Can everybody else hear me?
I
Yep.
can hear you. Yep.
Yeah.
Hear you. Yeah. Just
Yep.
like
Yeah.
maybe speak a little louder, I guess, for her.
Yeah. How's that, Karen?
A little better, I guess.
uh, okay, we're waiting to see if Miriam will show. I wasn't sure if she was going
Called
to
the
make it.
meeting, didn't she?
What's that?
She called the meeting, so she should be on.
Yeah, she should be on, but I don't see her. I know Bert is not going to make it. And so, but we do have a quorum at the moment. Um, Karen, myself, Jazz, and Mateo. And are you here as a guest, Frank? Or have you?
Yeah, I was just here as a guest.
Okay. All right. So I suggest we get started. Um, so I want to call the meeting to order. I guess we don't vote on that. But first item on the agenda are the minutes for um, the past October and November. Everybody get a chance to look at these? Should I put them up maybe as a reminder?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you'd gotten those minutes. Anyway,
Well, if I did, I misplaced them.
okay.
Oh dear.
Let me see if I can post them here on this Zoom. There.
So Henry, I'm looking at some notes I scrawled on the minutes when we brought them up before, and the ones for 1025, we decided to wait on them because it was you and Mateo and Karen, but we needed 4 people, and I and Bert had not been there.
That's right.
So we
can't
needed
deal with that.
Miriam for that one for the 25th.
Yeah.
And let's see.
I
It
think
looks like we
were-
could do the 13th.
Yeah,
There
that's
are 4 of us for that.
Yeah, let me find that. 1 second. Uh-huh. Can you all see that?
Yep.
Good.
Well, Karen can't.
Um, well, Karen was at this meeting, and let's see if I can scroll. Uh, so technically, we have a quorum to deal with this one. Major topics last time: guide board restoration project. Um, and I believe Karen had questions about the price. And she was asking me about that price. And again, the price, as far as we can tell at this point, is $17,000. Uh, did you get that, Karen?
Yeah, the 17. Is that
Yeah.
including the transportation of it?
Well, that's something we could discuss in a minute. I don't believe it includes that, but we were going to do volunteers on that.
Well, we still have to pay for the gas or the
Oh yeah,
insurance or.
that's right. That's right. And I believe, anyway, Matteo was going to check with uh, Becky about the, I guess, the final, the paperwork on this.
And on top of that, are we going to build a protection over him like a?
Yeah, yeah, and that's an item that we're going to talk about that shortly.
And
That's
that's another expense.
no, that's going to be volunteer stuff. I'll explain in a minute. Yep. Uh, and last time there was an update on the West Schoolhouse repairs. And I went over some of the scope of work that Bert Fernandez and I compiled. Um, it's gonna run $2,500 to $4,500, depending on extent of damage. It's possible Bob Groves will be giving us an estimate. He hasn't done so yet, but he has done some work on it. Specifically,
I know in the past he has anyway.
yeah. Well, we're waiting to get an estimate from him.
And the estimate already is what?
Say again.
What is the estimate for repairing the house?
It's going to run $2,500 to $4,500.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, Bob has actually done some remediation there for us so far.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the gist of it. Let's see. I did speak to Bob Groves. Friends of the Shutesbury Historical Commission have given us $1,500 towards this repair. So we need to think about where the rest of the money will come from. Anyway, those were the two items primarily. I guess, hold on, let me just check and see is anybody waiting to get in here. With Leslie, does anybody know Leslie's gonna come tonight?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see her. Let me just.
Oh, and this is, Henry, looking at it now, this is not I revised my original draft because Bert had told me that he wasn't at this meeting. So
Oh.
there are two places that his name needs to be moved. One is right there, move to adjourn at the bottom. It says Fernandez I, and that should be deleted.
Okay.
And then up on top, instead of being listed as present, he should be listed as absent. So I did make a correction and send one out after we had talked.
Okay. I
But
guess
that's the only two changes that were made.
So Fernandez scratched there at the bottom.
At the bottom, and also moved from present to absent at the top.
Got it. Okay. All right. I can't edit on.
No, that's fine.
PDF
Yeah.
at this point.
Nope.
I don't have that. Anyway, that's the gist of that meeting. The unanticipated business. Leslie came in. I guess she mentioned that Mark Ellis, the minister of Shutesbury Church, found a stack of old Grange records in the 30s and 40s. The Grange met in the church. They were writing a history of the church. Historical Commission does not have any of these records, so Leslie asked the Commission permission to scan the documents for Historical Commission closet files, and we agreed. Okay, and then there was a short discussion to put the West Schoolhouse on the Massachusetts Historical Register. So we require permission from the select boards as the town owns the building. Okay. Any other thoughts on these minutes?
No, I move
Yeah.
to accept the minutes as they were amended as Janice described, with removing Bert's name in those places.
I second. All going around. Zvonka.
Yeah,
Okay, that's an I, yes?
yes,
Okay, Pangala,
Aye.
Stone,
Aye.
and Geddes, I. Oh, wait, could somebody take minutes? I'm just,
I'm taking them.
okay, great, thank you, thank you.
I'm going to try texting Miriam too to see where she is.
Yeah.
She's been really busy, so maybe she just forgot.
Yeah. Well, I know she has not finished the annual report, which she thought she might have done by now. So
Ah.
that's probably one reason why she's not here. Um, the other item on the agenda is the guide board, the town guide board update.
Mhm.
And I have something to say about the 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 canopy that's supposed to protect it. But perhaps Matteo, do you have an update on it?
I don't have much more of an update.
Okay.
I was waiting. So we have that second document that we have to submit with it, which is the agreement of deposit. And there were two pieces of information that I needed to collect in order to fill that out. One of them is whether the item is insured, which Becky tells me, like all town property, it is covered by the town's insurance. So I can put the town's insurance carrier name in that field. But the other piece was the declared value, because we've not had the piece formally appraised. We need to indicate what the declared value is. And Becky did not have a number for that. She guessed $5,000. And I wanted to, I have no idea if that's too high or too low. I mean, obviously it's hard to put a hash value on a unique historical object. But I wanted to, bring that question to the commission. And at this point, it seems like we're going to have to do this in the spring. I imagine it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to wrap this thing properly on the common if there's snow around on it.
Boy, I'd
But
really, I didn't they at one point say that another winter outside could doom it? I thought there was something about that.
It
yeah,
is
there was,
vulnerable. It is vulnerable.
yeah. Um, and as far as, per Miriam's email, um, it sounds like she was not able to find volunteers. Again, I'm perfectly happy to take care of, once we have this settled, renting the U-Haul, we can work out the reimbursement and driving it. Obviously, there probably should be a second person as well, and driving it out to the conservation center.
Hmm.
But we're going to need assistance with properly wrapping it. It sounds like they described to Miriam the process for doing it in some detail.
Yeah, it seemed like she understood the materials they suggested and the procedure. And I think she said something about her husband knows something about this sort of thing too and could probably help
Yeah.
with it. I had asked her before about I told her that there was an outstanding question about the value. And she had thought, well, that do we include the value of the restoration? I mean, is this a pre-restoration value or a post-restoration value? I guess it's pre,
Mm.
because the restoration's what, like 15,000. So she was saying, well, maybe 20,000 if we, you know, value it at the restored value. But I really don't know one way or the other. So it sounded like still she was talking about maybe 5,000 as is or something like that, like Becky was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. That I think what they're looking for is what its value,
As
what
is.
its value is now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly would volunteer. It's not that heavy, if I recall. We were up there, and you could basically move it with one arm. So
Huh.
it's not that heavy. Um, Bert apparently is going to be away for a couple months,
Okay.
but should be back, I suppose, in March. I'm wondering. I'm wondering about what to do about it in the ensuing time, given its exposure. But I suppose moving it alone is going to be a challenge, and then finding a place where could it be stored?
Is there a I've never been in the church there. Is there any storage area in that church that we could ask about using? No.
No.
No? Okay.
As it, no, yeah. Well,
Well, do you think
What about the
what?
old town hall?
yeah.
What,
Well, that it would certainly protect it from the water. It's
yeah,
it's
old town hall's open and the inside there's no heat, but
you know,
I think
But-
we'd have to move the pews, which I guess we could move. I think they're movable. Um, but I think there was a question, wasn't there, about getting it in the door?
Yes.
I mean, if we're moving it at all, then it would make sense to simply move it onto the truck,
Yes. Yeah.
well,
wrap it
And
and put it on the truck.
can we?
I did inquire, I did inquire with them with Williamstown about what delivery date they would like, and I never heard back from them.
Well, they had said it sounded like it didn't matter too much because they were saying that they're backed up. They're not going to get to it for months and months. It has to dry out at their facility. That may take up to a year. So it sounded like
yeah.
you get it to us, then the timetable starts, you know, that sort of thing. So do you think it's possible we can still get it moved this winter? I would just hate to see it, you know, either accidentally get plowed or everything, you know, start rotting on it from if we have a really wet winter, a lot of icy rain and stuff like that. It would just be terrible. We're getting close to being able to restore it, and it would be horrible to sort of lose it to a really bad winter in the meantime.
No, here's a thought. Oh, I guess that it doesn't work really.
What?
I was thinking, just wrap it in a tarp, secure it with a tarp, a large tarp. But that would preclude visibility, which is why it's there.
I don't know.
Well, why don't I see? I mean, maybe the best way to do this, if Williamstown will take it at any time, maybe we should pick a date. Obviously weather dependent.
Yeah.
Put in a reservation on a truck, get whatever the supplies are from that list that Miriam put together that we're going to need. And that way we can put out another call for volunteers. I mean, the reason it's light, but the reason I think we need to have 4 volunteers to move it is because we want to have somebody on each side of it, just in case.
Yep.
And then, um,
Yeah, and if we had a date, I think we could then round up. I mean, I'm willing to help. I probably could get my husband to help. Maybe Bob Groves would come over and help because he's worked with it numerous times before.
Yeah.
We might be able to get, with a week's warning or so, and seeing how the weather is and be flexible to the weather, to be able to get volunteers to help us one way or another.
It'll probably have to be a weekday, because
Mhm.
I'm assuming they're not open on weekends.
Yeah, Yep.
But I think you're right, with enough lead time, we can aim on getting a few people together, weather permitting.
yeah, even maybe someone from, I mean, I'm willing to go along with you or something on the truck if that will help. But we might be able to get a member or two of the building committee to just come out for an hour or two, whatever it takes to get it into the truck, and that sort of thing. So
Right.
what we need to do probably is figure out how much it would cost for a U-Haul, and then request uh, a vote to approve use of that much money for it.
Yep. Yeah, we need to vote on that. And before I forget, um, anyway, we will need to meet briefly
Yeah,
before the end of the month to deal with the annual report, which is due at the end of the month.
really?
It's due at the end of the month, apparently. So we need
Uh,
to vote on it. It would be a brief meeting. It would just be 15 minutes or whatever it takes to.
If it's necessary. I mean, it used to be that they give you a date and then they gave you another date and then there was another date.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was usually somewhat flexible. I mean, that's when Linda was the sort of the assistant, to the select board or whatever. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know who that is now, but I'm guessing that there might be some flexibility in that because they do need to get it all compiled in time for annual town meeting. But I I just don't see how we can ask, I suppose, whoever it is that, I guess Miriam would probably know who sent out the email asking for annual reports to be done by end of January.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will check with Miriam on that
Okay.
and make sure we're, you know, meeting our obligations, I guess. Uh, okay. I wanted to add just a brief
Yeah.
comment on this project. The, there's a piece that's going to, in this case, protect it. Burton and I have been dealing with it, and there's actually a design, and we have a volunteer carpenter who apparently is very good. Local Greco. Anybody know this man?
No. Huh.
But anyway,
Wow, that's nice though.
Bert raves about his carpentry.
Oh, wow,
Let me,
fantastic.
yeah, let me just share what Bert put together. 1 second. Now, everybody see that?
Yep.
So this is he calls it a gazebo. It's a
Okay.
misnomer. It's going to be a gazebo. So those are the points that Bert highlights: protect it from the snow, etc.
Uh-huh.
Allow visibility of both roads. Separate from the war memorial, so it doesn't impinge on space or appear cluttered. Blend in with surroundings. Simple, so as not to take attention away from signpost. Cement base for the signpost or whole uh, gazebo, as he calls it, to
Okay.
balance the protection and allowing visibility. Need to consider optimal height of the roof line. Covering sides of the gazebo with transparent glass or plastic does not seem like a good option, visually speaking. One suggestion would be to have the roof line at approximately the height of the top of the signpost, since most views from a vehicle would be from a lower angle.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Nobody's going to be seeing it from standing position normally.
Well, they might be too, but standing wouldn't be any taller than car,
Yeah.
I don't think either, or not much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I still don't know about the plastic sides, like for winter to be able to tack some on or something, maybe.
Yeah,
It
could
doesn't have
be.
to be all the time.
Yep. Yeah, it could be something like that.
Okay.
It could be plexiglass,
Right. Yeah.
which is fairly transparent.
Has the signpost been measured?
Yes.
So, because I don't, maybe I'm wrong. I just saw a small U-Haul. That wouldn't be big enough to haul it to wherever it has to go.
Mm-hmm. You mean like
Let's-
a van of some kind?
Well, I think it would fit in U-Hauls, the 10-foot box truck, their smaller truck,
Okay.
right? Because that has a height clearance of 6 feet.
Okay. It looks like it's 81 or 82 inches tall, is what Miriam had sent, or someone had sent out a picture of it with the measurements on it.
Hmm.
So that should be okay. And then
Yeah.
it's hard to tell exactly what the width is, but 33
Yeah, what
inches
about
on a
the
side, I
base?
think. Hmm?
The base too. I mean,
Yeah, at this measurement of 81 or 82 inches includes the base. Estimated weight 150 to 175 pounds.
it's 80 inches tall or 81 inches tall.
Yeah, on the diagram it says 81 or 82.
So it wouldn't fit in the smaller U-Haul truck. We'd have to get the 15-foot truck.
Oh, how tall is the small one?
The small one has a height clearance of 6 foot 2 inches.
Ah, not quite, huh?
Um,
Unless we took the cupola off.
Do have exact measurements for that. I don't have it at the tip of my fingers here, but
Yeah, I'm
we
looking at
just put
a
that
diagram that someone had sent around before.
Oh,
It looks like it's 49 inches to the the lower part of the little roof,
oh,
but I don't know exactly. Let's see, the cupola looks like the cupola is about 22 inches, just the smaller top part.
it's another couple feet, let's say.
So that would be make it just about 6 feet. If it's 82 and then you subtract 22, that would be right about 6 feet, right? That would, but I don't know what it's like to get the top off,
yeah, I think it would be safer to just
Yeah.
larger truck. 'Cause, I mean, it's not that much more expensive.
Uh-huh.
The cost for the truck, not including gas, would be approximately 160.
Oh, okay.
It would be 46 for the base rental plus 89 cents per mile, which comes out to about 160.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
Mhm.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you. And that's for the smaller truck, and it might be a little more for the next size.
I know that is the larger one. That's the 15-foot.
Oh,
It has the high.
okay. Oh, good. And where can we get those around here?
The one I'm looking at would be pick up at 8 a.m. In Amherst at Gill's Auto Repair on Belchertown Road and drop off at the same location that night.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, that's good. I was afraid it was going to be hundreds of dollars or something. 160 isn't bad at all. I can help contribute towards that if we need to.
So Bert actually came up with a little diagram.
Cute.
Can you see this at all?
Yep.
Uh, can you
Yeah.
see the diagram there?
What is it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just I don't know who did it, whether Bert or the guy he contacted, Greco. But that's basically what it would look like, and yeah, four columns holding up what I would consider a a roof composed of 4 triangular sides.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that's a lot like the cupola that is for the bell at the Hadley Academy,
Uh-huh.
Hopkins Academy, off of Route 9. They have a separate,
Mhm.
the building inspector built a small little cupola to just protect the bell through the seasons.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and it also it coincides with a do-it-yourself uh, model that I guess Miriam came up with.
Oh, okay.
With all the instructions, down to uh, the inch, the very inch.
So we just need to pay him for wood and
Yeah,
materials, whatever.
we'd have to
Yep.
buy the wood, and I guess
Okay.
Marco is, and Bert has carpentry skills as well.
Good. Okay. I mean, so in terms of the moving and stuff, if in order to keep it from getting difficult or whatever, I'm happy to pay for the U-Haul truck. It sounds like it's going to be like 200 or less. I will do that so we don't have to worry about, coming up with votes, where we're going to get the money, what fund does it come from, or anything else like that.
Yeah.
It's just, I'd just be happy to see it get to a safe place.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, if we can avoid having you pay, because we do have money, and I guess the question is, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so we'll do whatever we have to, and then if it can be reimbursed afterwards, fine.
Okay.
If not, I will cover it. So, even if Mateo picks it up, I can still either reimburse him or the town can reimburse him, whatever is possible, whatever works. We'll do it. Or I can go down with you. I don't particularly want to drive a U-Haul, but I'll help out otherwise.
I'm happy to drive it. I've driven so many
Yeah.
more.
Well, I can also co-pilot, and I used to be a teamster. I always tell people.
Really? Okay, now that's a surprise.
That's right. Okay. So let me know, Mateo, if you need any help. I'd be happy to volunteer.
Okay,
So
well,
we're going to use the 5,000 as the estimated value, and you have whatever else you need to fill out that paperwork.
yeah, I need to get from Becky the name of the insurance carrier.
Oh, okay.
There is a field here under the reports requested section where it asks for a deadline. I don't know that we ever talked about when we wanted the reports from them.
I think, well, they said it may be like a year for just
Yeah.
drying it out. So if it gets there, let's say if it gets there by February, then it'd be the following February. So maybe like June of next year or something like that. I mean, I have no idea. It probably will take longer than that, but gives us an
Should I
approximate.
just fill in as soon as reasonably possible, or should we give them
Yeah,
our deadline?
I don't know. If we don't absolutely have to give a particular date, we might as well just let them get it done whenever it fits in.
As long as it doesn't just sit there.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what they say, if you don't give them a deadline, they'll say, well, they don't need this very soon.
Well, you could say like June of 25 then. That's like a year and a half.
This is okay, and well, so the form's a little unclear. I think this is not for the end of the work. This is for receiving the examination report and the proposal for treatment report.
Didn't we sort of already get that with their estimate, or is this a more detailed report?
I think this is a more detailed report because remember, part of what we're getting is the paint analysis and
Yes.
also
Oh, yeah.
the top structure.
Uh-huh. I have no idea.
For a report, maybe we ask for 6 months and we can just
Sure.
sort of verbally communicate with them that, is this reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they should tell us actually
when
what's
they
their
can.
schedule, and but they should give us options. Okay. Anything else on the guide board? Um, yeah.
Nope,
I
I
think,
would, that would make my year if we could just get that safely in the
mm,
hands of the Williamstown people.
yeah. Just one last comment. Um, I did speak to Bob Groves, and he said he would give an estimate not only for the west schoolhouse but for the this canopy that we're talking about.
Uh-huh,
But I've not heard from him. I guess I'm going to call him again.
uh-huh.
What's going on?
And the
But,
canopy gazebo or whatever you call it.
yeah, but I think as I discussed with Bert,
Yeah,
if we have volunteers, I think we're
yeah,
just going to call it that, and you know, and I should be upfront with him,
yep,
with Bob about that. And yeah, and maybe
yeah,
he'll be willing to help anyway.
yeah. Now, do we owe, who, was it Bob that already did a little bit of work on the schoolhouse? Didn't
Well,
someone,
he intimated that it was not he was not charging for that. He didn't do it. All he did was really move a copper cable out of the
okay,
way.
well, that's nice of him.
Yeah, it's just a very simple movement of a cable.
Uh-huh, well, that's
But,
good.
yeah, he said he would. Yeah. Anyway, um, any other comments? Guide board. Okay.
No, what's
Any?
the timetable for the West Schoolhouse? We're just gonna wait and see if we get a quote from Bob.
Yeah, it's not urgent
Yeah,
because again by moving that cable, it actually displaces the water, so it no longer circulates in the rotted area.
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and we don't need, people don't need to be working on it this time of year. They can wait till better
Yeah,
weather. Okay,
the sugar, and Bert agreed, so
yeah, okay, that's good.
um, something else. Okay, any unanticipated business? I believe we're in the home stretch now. Uh, yeah,
There's no price tag yet. How much is it going to be?
oh,
For
well,
what?
Mateo, you want to respond to that?
I'm sorry, Karen, you're talking
Price,
about the guidebook?
price tag on the guide board.
So the option that the select board authorized was the $17,000 restoration project. Um,
That what about the repairs? Does that cover the repairs?
Yes,
And then we gotta have more money for transportation and insurance.
so the signboard is insured under the town's blanket policy for all properties. And the transportation is going to be, it sounds like the cost will be donated by Janice and volunteer labor to move it. So those are negligible. The $17,000 that was authorized by the select board is the lower of the two options that we had. The other one was
40.
a 40 something. Yeah, it was pretty wild. The bulk of the 17,000 is not coming from the historical commission. It's coming out of the CPA grant. But there are other portions that are being paid by the Friends and by the historical commission, but most of it is from the CPA grant.
That's right.
17,000. But that won't cover the restoration.
yes, that is the restoration.
Yeah, they're doing a pain analysis. They're stabilizing the structure and they're restoring it. The piece that we have not made a decision about is the top part of the structure because we need to have it. They need to assess it to determine if the top part of the structure is original or not, and based off that information, we would make a decision about what we want to have happen to that part.
And how much is a cupola, cupola, or whatever you want to call it, gazebo over the thing for protection? That's
we
going to
don't-
cost something.
That's going to cost that would be the cost of the materials only. Basically, it's columns of wood and panels that would be used to assemble this very simple structure. And we have volunteers to do the design and assembly.
And that's not going to cost anything?
Well, it'll cost what it costs to pay for the materials, the wood.
Yeah. Well, that can go up fast.
Yep, we've got
Okay.
it covered.
I think we can have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like an awful price.
Well,
Okay.
Anyway, any unanticipated business before me? Yeah.
Nope.
No,
When are we meeting again?
Yes, good point. I put it to you as a question. When's a good time to meet before the end of the month? Is anybody have a preference, or looking at the
Another
calendar?
Another Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, if Miriam is writing the annual report, next week is a killer week with the special town meeting,
Yeah, no,
and everything that's going on, with the bylaw and stuff. So, I wouldn't think that I don't know, maybe she could get to it by the 24th, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's going to be a crazy week next week.
yeah. I'm looking at.
Well, the following week?
Like the 31st. I know it's getting down to the line, but like I said, I don't think that's a drop dead deadline.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't I find out about that and I'll poll
Okay.
you guys? Okay.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, there are actually 31 days in January.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll hear from me about that.
All right. Janice, can I connect with you? I guess I can email
Sure.
you about setting up a date. We'll pick a date.
Okay.
And I'll send out a call for however volunteers we can get, and then work on booking the U-Haul.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Tuesdays are really good for me in terms of availability.
It's okay for me too.
Okay. And Frank, I don't know if you wanted to have a word with us, or you just listening in, or.
No, I just wanted to hang out and hear it. So
Okay. All right. Hey.
It's so exciting. I know.
the signboard, yes, the signs was very exciting. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, so should we move to adjourn then?
So moved.
Okay. I second. Yep.
I'll
Go
second
around.
it.
Okay. Zervonka.
Yes.
All right. Geddes, I. Pangalo.
Aye.
Stone.
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
Stay tuned and stay safe.
All right. Thank you. And I hope you guys will go to town meeting and vote
Yep,
in favor of the new wetlands bylaw.
we'll be there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Janice, can I talk to you about the bylaw?
Sure. Do you want me to just call you?
Please.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now. Bye.
Bye-bye.